at a time. Yeah, this is tea time. Yeah, making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time. Making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. Tea time.
Well, welcome. It is afternoon tea. That's right. We are here for a second tea. This is right. 2023 is completely different. We're doing 3 shows in one day. That's right. So today I have from Kenya, Regina Reithii. I think I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right. I'll get her to say it when she comes into the studio. So we're just going to jump into the disclaimer really quickly. Then we're going to do a quick bio, and we're going to have some good old sweet tea with the TEA. And we're going to learn some incredible information about the Upendo United Foundation. There we go. My tongue is just twisting out already. We're going to get it out there, and we're going to get some children's empowerment. That's right. We're going to do children. So let's get rolling. So disclaimer for Miss Liz's Tea Times live show. Miss Liz myself is going live using StreamYard. Before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that the content brought forward for any Tea Time show hosted by myself, Miss Liz, is always brought forward in good faith. However, may bring forth dialogue and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the given time of airing. All Tea Time guests and audience participation are responsible for using their good judgment in taking any action that may relate to the discussion. The content brought forward may include discussions for some where they may be emotionally at risk. It is significant to know that this show is engaging in discussion forums only to offer and inspire awareness and connection, and is not providing therapeutical advice. If you have any questions about the disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact me, Miss Liz, through my email at bookingmissliz@gmail.com. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in today's show in any aspect, I myself, Miss Liz, welcomes you. And should you decide that this show is not made for you at this time, I respect that, and I will see you at a later date and a later show in the future. Now we got the disclaimer all out of there, and we're going to just pop up the incredible website so you can see where you can find out all this incredible information about today's guest. And I'm going to just do a little quick intro for Regina, the CEO and founder of the Upendo United Foundation. And I hope I'm saying it right. Upendo. I think she's going to tell me how to say it when she gets in here. Regina Reithii, Upendo president and founder, was born and raised in Nakuru, I hope I'm saying it right, Kenya. Regina has been proud Delawarian for the last 20 years and is a passionate advocate for children's empowerment. Growing up in Kenya, Rift Valley in the 80s and 90s exposed Regina to life-changing experiences, having witnessed the horror of political violence as her hometown, Rico, I hope I'm saying it right, I don't think I am, was hard hit, while incidents of the serious political violence have reduced. Previously impacted areas continue to experience lingering effects and security and economic uncertainties. Over the last 18 years, juggling roles as a student and a single parent, Regina has directly supported over 145 orphans by paying for their education and sponsoring their basic needs as well as those of their immediate family members. Through Regina's leadership, Upendo is supporting 145 orphans on a full-time basis with a goal to expand their outreach to 500 children by the end of 2025. And we can make that happen if we all join together today. Virginia is a passionate about empowering children through education and imparting income generating skills. While her efforts are currently focused on making a difference in Nakuru, Kenya, her goal is to extend the outreach to other parts of the country. And I'm going to get her to say that country, the name of that country in Kenya, because I think I'm saying it wrong. So let's get the incredible Regina in the studio so we can spill some tea this afternoon. Welcome, Regina. And I know I'm not saying it right, so I'll get you to say it for me.
That's okay. It's okay.
So how do you pronounce the Nakuru?
Nakuru, Kenya. Nakuru, Kenya.
Nakuru, Kenya. So I gotta learn some language, and we're gonna talk about language as well today this
Yes,
afternoon,
yes.
because that's part of what you do as well is teach the language, right?
Correct, correct.
So Regina, could you share with the listening audience and viewers out there a little bit about what I haven't mentioned about yourself?
Yes. My name is Regina Reithii, and originally from Kenya. I came to US 20 years ago. 20 years ago, in 2007, my sister called me and she said there were tribal clashes in Nakuru. Could I assist the orphans in Nakuru? And so that started my journey of supporting orphans and vulnerable children. Upendo is a Swahili word that means love. And so our goal is to fulfill humanity's greatest commandment of loving one another using our core values of love, serve, give, and connect.
And that's what I have here on the paper. So I did my homework really good. So
You did.
so I want to learn a little bit today on how to say tea time in Swazi. So do you know how to say it in that language?
Yeah, tea time. It's chai.
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 How I
Wakati wa chai.
what chai? I see. I like it.
Wakati wa chai. So tea means chai in Swahili.
See, and it's very easy to learn a new language if you just try, right? And that's what
Yes.
we're here for, is to show that we can try and we can educate by learning and asking questions. So, what got you into the children's empowerment and supporting 145 orphans?
So it was so like I said, I came here 20 years ago, but in 2020, COVID hit. Once COVID hit, I was wondering, my background, I'm a Christian, and I was wondering, asking God, what else do you want me to do? So I believe it was in March 2020, I started asking that question and meditating and asking. Every day I would see the news of 3,000 people dying. I knew I did not want to die at that point because I didn't feel I had fulfilled my goal or my calling here. So I started asking God. And so on May 7, 2020, I had a dream. The dream to me is it came as a vision. So I could see what I needed to do. So I needed to start a library so that I can teach kids can start learning from an early stage. As we speak today, we've upcycled a shipping container where we are having we have books. We've shipped over 5,000 books, and also we have 15 computers that were donated, and so we are teaching from there. It's our resource center. The other thing that was in my vision is greenhouse. So we'll grow food to feed the children and also to sell. And that includes vegetable, fruits, and herbs. As we speak, we have one greenhouse where we are growing this. We hope as we expand, we have the 3 greenhouses that I had on my vision. The third thing that was on my vision was a trade school. And so the message on the trade school was to impart career and life skills to the children. And one of the other thing that I could see or like was on my vision is a lot of kids were struggling to get education in Kenya, and those who got education did not have employment. But by teaching them life skills and career skills through our technical school, we'll be able to create employment. So part of those skills involve agriculture. And I repeat, farming. So agriculture, including the animal rearing. As we speak, we have three kind of animals. So we have rabbits, and the rabbits, we're using the rabbit to collect urine. That urine is a fertilizer and also insecticide that we are using to grow in our organic farm. We also have goats. The goats, the goal is to feed the children with the milk, but the waste product goes back into farming. The last thing that we have is chicken. So we feed the children with the eggs, but the eggshell and the waste product go back again into farming. That was that project. And I think I mixed them. The farming portion is we have animals and we also have the vegetable. So that's two. And the fourth one was a trade school. So the trade school will have courses that we can teach. I'm so sorry. I think I got them mixed. So there was a green. I'm gonna repeat. The first one was the library. So we have library and a resource center, and the goal is to have access of books from an early stages. Up to now, we have over 5,000 books in the library. We have 15 computers, and we have Wi-Fi where people can be able to access online. We also have a greenhouse. So we have one greenhouse, but in my vision, there were 3 greenhouses. So right now we have one with the hope of expanding that to more so that we can have enough for the children, enough to export. The third project was the trade school. So the trade school will be breaking the ground in a few, literally like in March 2023. And the trade school would have 3 levels. So the 3 levels being the first level, which is the foundation that will focus on 2023, will be a multi-purpose hall where we can do mentorship, training, and also a community hall where kids can be able to come and be innovative. The second floor will have 5 classes for electrical, plumbing, mechanical. And the third floor too will have 5 classes. So, but we are focusing on the first floor first due to the budget. The fourth thing that was in my vision was buying additional land. So I programmed that so that we'd be able to have more land to impact, to have all these programs. But the fifth one is the outreach program, and that one is focused mostly here in the US. So one of the things that I'm doing, and I can show later, right now in my kitchen, I have about 5 barrels of items that have been donated. That includes books, diapers, feminine pads, clothes, and all that needs to be shipped in Kenya. So that's through the outreach program here in the US. Also envision from my dream that we'll have children here that will go to Kenya for service trips, and when they go, they can serve the orphans that we are serving. Other than that, on our project, the last portion of it is being able to buy a vehicle. And so that vehicle will help us in being able to not just let the children that we have, but go outside the community and reach out to more orphans. So that's how my vision was. So we've completed 3 projects so far, which is the library and resource center, the greenhouse, the livestock. And the outreach will be ongoing because it's people who are in US that are donating the clothes and the shoes and the feminine parts that we are supporting the orphans. So we are starting the 4th one, the trade school, which is the major project. But I'm excited about it.
Well, it's truly incredible what you've done. Like, the mission has started and you've already got 3 out of 5. And that's what I wanted to talk to you was all the different projects that you have. And you've mentioned all of them.
Yes.
But just having that, the animals, and then using that as the garden, and like a lot of people will just say, well, I'm buying chicken just to eat the eggs. but you're actually taking the shells and turning it into the, the fertilizer and all of that. And the rabbits, that's really interesting to learn that as well. So for the listeners and then viewers out there that are checking this tea time out this afternoon, like, we're gonna learn some educational stuff during this tea time. I feel it, and some really incredible empowerment things on how you can take a vision and create something beautiful out of it. And you've already made a difference in 145 orphans' lives. And I love that you have a bigger goal for 2025. 500 children. Why not? Why not increase it? Why not make more of a difference? Baby steps in that. But you've already got 3 out of 5 done, and that's incredible. So the vehicle is what I wanted to talk to you, because I had seen it on your website about the vehicle, and I was like, I wonder what the kind of project that is. But as you were sharing, I understood it now. Is to get more of the outsource and that. So would these vehicles be in Kenya for outsource, or is that part of the outreach in the U.S.?
That's the vehicle. Here we are okay because I can use my vehicle for like everything that I need to do, but it's in Kenya. So in Kenya right now, I'm tempted to show you how my kitchen looks with the barrels, but the barrels, once they get to Kenya, we have to get means of transportation from Nairobi, which is the capital city, to the village where we are serving the children. And so for now, we have someone who is using like a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
Yes, a motorcycle, which is a 45 minutes ride to go and deliver the stuff to the children. So if my hope is that we'll be able to get a vehicle, like a minivan, that will be able to help us distribute the items that we receive from US, and two, as a means of transportation, so that when we start teaching other kids and other community, we have a way to move around. The third need for the vehicle is once we are growing once we grow the vegetables, it's kind of difficult to be able to transport them back and forth. So a vehicle is a very integral part into being able to achieve our mission.
So are you looking like for a donated vehicle to the foundation, or are you looking like to raise money and then buy a vehicle?
Whichever way, we are open to. If somebody has an extra vehicle that they can donate, that will be helpful. Alternatively, our budget for the truck will be about 20,000. That's what we have as a budget, 20,000, and that will get us a new vehicle in in Kenya for being able to move around.
And you mentioned donations in your kitchen. So do the donations come directly to you, Regina, and then you send them? Is that how that works?
Yes, and we do. That's a good question. That brings it brings two portions to that when you ask me that question. So right now I'm working through my kitchen. So in my kitchen is my Upendo office and my storage. And so as we seek grants, we are looking for grants so that we can have a space in Delaware, and that space will be our donation center. It will be also help us with storing the stuff so that before we ship them to Kenya, and also be our mentorship program here, because we want to continue encouraging the kids in here, not just to donate their clothes, but they can be engaged in it. So for example, in springtime, we ask the kids to clean their closet with their parents, find the clothes they no longer use and donate those clothes. So those are the clothes that I'm receiving. Over time, as we go by the year, people will clean out the clothes they no longer use, the books, and they will donate that. And once they donate, I have that collected by the shipping company from here and shipped to Kenya. So hopefully we'll be able to get a space here. And the space too, we just don't want it to be an office. We would like to replicate the same thing that we have in Kenya. So the same programs we have here, we can have them here so that the kids here can be engaged, like summertime. They have activities to do and they will learn from each other.
So are you looking to outreach the foundation like into other countries, or is it just US and Kenya right now?
So for the next, I'll put it this way, for the next 5 years, starting 2023, our focus is to make sure that the Upendo in Nakuru is up and running and the Upendo site in US is up and running. Once we have that situated, it will be easier for us to be able to move to other cities and also counties in Kenya, because The goal is to have this project and to be self-sustaining. The trade school, we envision that to be a semi-private where uh, those who are able to pay can pay, and those who are not able to pay will look for donors for them. So with that, we can create streams of income to be able to expand our program to other counties. And once we do that, we'll be able to move. Next country to move is Tanzania. And because I've done several mission trips in Tanzania, I see the need, and I know we'll be able to expand to them as well and benefit from what we are doing.
Well, it's nice that you know because you come from that area, right? So you know exactly what is needed, and that's nice, and that's a head up, right? Because you come from that area, so you know what needs to be done. Now, for the trade schools and that, are you looking for teachers to come in from different areas, or do you have teachers? How's that working?
So again, with the trade school, which, like I said, it's the major project right now, we are breaking that into two portions. The first portion is the building. Once we build, then we can go to Kenya for the approval. We cannot get the approvals until we have the building. Once we get the approval, that's the process. Now we'll start hiring the teachers in Kenya. At that point, also, I did mention we're open to volunteers and interns that can travel to Kenya for service trips to teach. A good example, we are collaborating with Avi IT. And Avi IT, she's young African American, still a student, but has her own organization. And Avi teaches computer classes in Kenya every Wednesday. So we are focusing on 5 adults who she's teaching. Once she teaches them, then they can be able to spread out and go to schools and also other orphanages in Nakuru to teach the kids computer classes.
So it's nice that you have that heritage that's staying in. So if anybody would like to become a volunteer, how does that work, Regina?
On our website, we have a tab for volunteer. They can register there. For now, we're doing both local and international. So I have a team that Avi is part of the team that I'm going with to Kenya. And so when we go to Kenya, she'll help set up the computer lab for the Upendo that we have right now. And also she'll be teaching on how to repair computers on site for those 10 days. So the 5 individuals, the goal is by the time we leave Kenya in 10 days, they'll have learned how to fix a computer. And if they have an issue, they can contact Avi to help them if they have any challenges. So with any the individuals either here in US that have talents that they can be able to share, we are open to that as well.
So if anybody wanted to take part, like I know when I checked the website, you have different categories that you're looking for volunteers. The volunteers, you're looking for administration, education, the greenhouse, the trading school. So are you looking for people to come in from the US for that?
Yes. Both in US and also in Kenya. If someone, we have people who have talents as well in Kenya. For example, we have a piano that was donated. So we are looking for somebody who can volunteer to teach the kids piano lessons using that. So it's not just limited to the formal education, but also, like I said, life and career skills.
So I want to get into it. Is it Upenda or Upanda? Am I saying it right?
The best way to say it is if like Upendo. I say it Upendo. Upendo, it's a Swahili word, or you can say Upendo. A lot of people say Upendo.
United Foundation, you can check out the website that is on the screen. If you're listening to the audio, check into the description. Everything that we are sharing today will be in the description, so you can read all of that information. You can find Regina on the website as well, and you can reach out to her. Regina, we do have some technical issues, but we're going to continue on. I hope that you're back and you can hear me. Good.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
So as I was saying before, we got a little glitch from some issues here. Is it Upanda or Upanda?
Upendo.
Upendo. See, I'm not
Yes.
even saying it right. My tongue is just all backwards
You
today.
want to say, you can say, oh, okay. This is how we say, oh, Upendo, Upendo,
Upendo.
Upendo.
Oh,
You
I like
got
it
it.
that way.
You got it.
Upendo.
Upendo. Yes.
I like it. So where did the name come from? And what does
So
it
the
mean?
name was part of my vision. So once I had the vision, maybe that's another topic for another day. But once I had the vision at 4 a.m., I woke up and I drew everything on my journal. So I still have that. That has become my blueprint of the bigger picture of Upendo that I go back to. But the Upendo was part of the name. The only thing I had to tweak it because there's so many Upendo so that I can still use the name. So it's Upendo United Foundation.
And what year did you start the foundation, Regina?
Upendo was founded on May 7th, 2020. So it's pretty much it's 2.5 years old.
And why that date?
That's the date I had the vision. That's the day I had the dream. So I never forget it.
And,
May 7th, 2020.
and this is the thing, right? We have to hold on to those important dates. You know, sometimes we just something comes to us and we're like, nope, today's the date. We're gonna do it today. You know, and
That's the day I had the dream, and 4 a.m. It must have been before 4 a.m. But 4 a.m. I woke up and I drew, I drew everything. Every project that's in here is in my journal.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's on my journal. Yes.
So for the orphans, how does that work for the orphans? And I do believe I seen something about sponsoring a child for $40 US. So how does that work?
So what I did, and I'll go back. So once I had the vision, I started looking for orphans, and it didn't take long that I got connected with one orphanage that I'm literally like that's who we are supporting right now. It's called Holy Family Children's Home, and they were so overwhelmed during the COVID, even like with food, clothing, supplies for the children. So I was able to visit the orphanage in November 2020 for the first time. And I realized a good example will be they were not using like diapers. So they were using the old kind of diapers, which is like a piece of towel. And what caught my attention is to see, although there were like 40, 50 orphans, the little ones, those nappies did not have a name for any child. And so the first thing that rang in my mind is we have so many diapers in this country, so many, so that these children don't deserve to be using those pieces of old clothes. That number one, for hygiene purposes, and two, since these are children who've been either somewhat in pit latrine, somewhat literally dug on the ground that they don't deserve. So that started when I came back, my message of asking people to donate diapers. So the good thing is for the last 2 years, we are able to ship per month, like per year, we've been able to ship 10,000 diapers, which supports them.
Wow. That's amazing. That is
So, and
really
the same
amazing.
thing with the food, instead of just asking for the money, we put it back and grow the food. So we have organic food that we are supplying. So that's very important for me to be able not to just feed them with any kind of food, but to feed them with healthy food. So like I mentioned, the goat milk is part of what we are feeding them. The eggs, the vegetables and fruits that are all organic is what we are feeding them. And not just feeding them, but also showing them in future they know how to grow them, to grow their own food.
When you said that you use the rabbits for the urine, do you guys also eat the rabbits or you just use them mainly for that?
For now, we are using the rabbit specifically to harvest urine. And also the second portion of that, we want to teach the local community the use of I say a good example, like my mom, her land does not produce the way it should produce because over time they've been taught about fertilizers and chemicals. And so the lands are depleted. So my goal is to continue expanding into the community and teaching them the use of the urine, the rabbit, as a fertilizer and as insecticide. And we're already doing that to local. We've already like imparted that to a few farmers who are learning from that. So we hope to be able, using the apps, to be able to teach more on the use of that. So for now, we're not using rabbits for meat. We are strictly using them for breeding so that we can be able to sell extra to somebody who needs them, and also for fertilizers and insecticide.
So we have a couple questions that are coming in, Regina. So I want to ask those questions to you. We have a question here. Are you accepting seeds for fruits and vegetables to plant?
Yes, and that's a tricky question, but literally, I take the seeds from, I get them from Laws, the organic ones, for beetroots, for the vegetables. That's where I get them from, including the mint and rosemary. So I get them from Laws, the organic kind.
So the organic, healthy product is what you're looking for, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now we have another question here that's asking, how did you learn about the rabbits and the urine as a fertilizer?
Sorry?
How did you learn that the urine was good for fertilization?
So the beauty of being a visionary of this project is, I think within those 2.5 years, I've graduated with several degrees. So I go into details of everything that we like, for example, why are we planting this specific vegetable? Why are we planting this herb? And so it's out of that I learned about the rabbits. So when I started, we were buying urine for use, but now we at a level. Let me go back. So in June, I was able to put our first rabbits. We are keeping the California Flemish. So we bought, because of the cost, we bought 3, but over time they are multiplying. So the goal is to continue doing that and to increase the urine so that we are supplying to local farmers and other individuals. And if they want to buy the rabbit to start their own farm, they can buy that and also learn from us.
Awesome. And
so I've been reading a lot.
Well, I learned something new because I didn't know that you could do that. So yeah. I learned something, and that's what I love. Is I love learning from my guests, right?
Yes, and the other thing is, and I know you haven't asked me that, but the goat. So the goat milk, I personally had a lot of allergies, and I learned that from the book called The Brain Maker, about the benefits of the goat milk. And so for 4 years, I stopped using the cow milk, and I use only the goat milk. And so I know all the benefits of the goat milk, including making kefir, making soap from that, and making cheese. So as we increase our production and we increase the number of goats we have, that's the goal, the hope that we'll be able to have more byproducts for the goat milk.
I never even thought of that. The soap. So
the goat soap, goat soap.
Yeah. So is that going to be part of the trade? Like how to teach how to make soaps and stuff like that as well?
So that will be part of the trainings that we are doing. So how to take care of a goat, what to feed it, and if they're able to get the milk, how they can make their own soap. They can make kefir, which is a very good I don't know how I can tell it, to remove toxins from your stomach. It's all toxins, microbiome, it's all into that, and I don't want to get into that, but it's supposed to be very healthy and very good for human beings. So same thing for the babies. The milk is much better for them than the cow milk. So we just want to give them, my hope and desire is to feed these children with the best that we can.
So we have a question here about the $40 a month. What does that give you if you sponsor a child for $40?
So the $40 literally takes care of food, clothing, shelter, and medical need. So if and one of the things, I have the names of the children. You can choose. At this point, we haven't reached to that level, but once I'm able to get enough, like we have 145 orphans. If I get individual donors who are supporting those children, then we can be able to identify each person with a child. But for now, because we don't have that much donors, so the $40 goes into bulk, and the need, if it's the school fees that we need right now, that's what we are taking care of.
Well, and that's good information to know as well, because
yes,
it's building blocks, right? It's building
blocks. And another way to put it is, one, again, I ask people to donate we have a lot of quarters laying around, quarters, pennies. So if you think about it, 6 quarters will feed one child per day. So I ask people, you can go look all the quarters, the coins laying down in your house, take them to convert them and donate them, and that will feed. You find people will have like $40, $136, and that will feed 2 months or a couple months for the children. So I do accept the coins. That's another story for another day.
No, and I like that because
Yeah.
it shows that the little makes a big result, right? And I say
Yes,
this all the
a
time to
quarter
all of my
and
kids,
one
right?
dollar. Yeah, $1.50 will feed one child per day, and that includes their fees, their school fees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, include their school fees.
No, see,
Yeah,
for 6 quarters you can change someone's life.
see, correct. 6 quarters will change someone's life. And
And
even
I
when you're
want,
talking to the children, showing, because I like showing the children we have here how to give and serve, that's an easier way to show them. Clean the house and find 6 quarters you can find or pennies. Let's count them, and 6 quarter will feed one child. So they start seeing they don't have to have so much money to serve, to make a difference.
and I
Yes.
love that, Regina, because I always say that, right? Little things lead to big results. You know, we
Yes.
always think that it's always got to be the big donations and the big. It's the little donations that
It's
go a
the
long
little,
way.
yes, yes, yes.
So I want to get into the love, serve, give, and what's the last word?
And connect.
And
Connect.
connect.
Yes.
So why those four, and what do they
So
mean to
just
you?
like a house, right? Just like a house, you have to have 4 pillars that holds the foundation of the house. So upendo, those are the 4 foundations of upendo. And so love is simple. It's love is upendo. So and it's the greatest commandment. So i- if nothing else, you don't have money, you don't have anything to give. You can pray for the children, you can send blessings for them every day. So I believe in just being able to love. And to me, it's like a form of prayer. You're sending them love, you're sending them blessings, not necessarily money, not necessarily material. So that's the first thing. The second thing is give. And when it comes to give, I don't just believe in money, because there's so much ways we can give. You have a talent that you can give. You have a skill you can give. You have your time. I say those kids, when you go to Kenya, they yearn for a hug, just being held. When you hold the child here, when you leave, when you want to keep the child, they cry. Like, and I try to make sure I hold each child, but you realize they long for that human touch. So for the team that I'll be going to Kenya with, I already let them know that's part of what we're going to do. Just hold the baby. That's it. Hold each baby. And they can give clothes, they can give books, they can give money, they can give their time. There's so much ways to give. They can give, like if you have a skill, they can do that. And then the second one is serve. So there are different ways of serving. If you're in Kenya, they can help us in the farm. They can help us with the library. They can help us, like now we're starting the school. They can help us in person, coming in and helping us with the building. From here, there are different ways. Since we don't have much funding, like you can see, we're still a baby. If you have skills like computer skills, accounting skills, marketing skills, you can use those ones to serve Upendo. And the last one is connect. And a good way I can say is like how we connected with you. I did not know you, but through somebody who had Upendo story connected me with you. So I believe connection is one of my favorite portion, because then it has that ripple effect. You get more people to hear about the story of Upendo, the story of just one specific child. And we can, same thing like we're talking about the vehicle. Maybe somebody has that extra cash, 5,000 to help us buy the vehicle, but they know somebody who is willing to do it. So I believe in connection. So those are the 4 pillars of Upendo: give,
And
love, serve, and connect. Yes.
I really love that, Regina, because the connection is like you said, we were connected. I don't know Regina, and she was sent to me, and she was actually sent to me by Jacqueline
Jackie
Zaccoli
Zapoli.
from Networks Builders Arizona. So check them out as well. Jacqueline is doing amazing work. She has brought me a couple of beautiful ladies that you will see on Teatime this year in 2023. Uh, there are incredible people out there that are doing a difference. And Regina, you're one of them. So I want to really thank you for your service in that. So now I want to get into, if I ask you what is your tea, what would your tea be today?
So I think, and that will evolve over time. But for today, for 2023, my T stands for T is for the trade school, because that's what we are focusing on. And the trade school has the potential to impart career and life skills to children. And the beauty of it is, as we build the trade school, we talked about love. So one of the walls, just like my backyard, will have the hats of every donor who's participated in this project. So that's my first tip. The second one is empowerment. Empowerment. So I believe our motto is empowering a generation, one child at a time. Empowering a generation, one child at a time, through education, training, and mentorship.
I really love that.
And the last one is A is for agriculture. So my heart breaks to see so many people sleeping without food in Kenya. And I realized, just going back, is if we go back to the basics, we have a small farm. We can use the urine. We can use the waste from the goat. We can use the compost, the eggshell, another from the egg. That if you see like our vegetables just out of that, they grow up so good. So nobody should sleep hungry in Kenya when we know this. So agriculture is a huge part, because I know people have land. It's only that how can we be able to make a difference in those lands so that there's more production and there's more food for everybody. So it's the agriculture stands for both the vegetables, the fruits, and the herbs, and then also for rearing of animals, whether whichever specific. But for me, it's goats, chicken, and rabbits.
So are you looking for any other animals out there?
Yeah. Well, we have right now, we have 5 goats. Would like to go to 50. The cost of one goat, the one we get, is 250. So at the moment, and that's not something we talked about, but I want to share about it. We did not have water at our site. So someone donated $400 on January 1st. And so as we speak, I'm going to have that on my website soon, or on my social media. It's there because it's ongoing right now. So we are manually digging a borehole so that we can get water from there to be able to grow. So water has been one of the huge challenges, but we are hoping with that $400 we'll be able to have more water to grow, and we can be able to expand from that. With the rabbits, again, now that if we have water, we can be able to have more animals. We can be able to supply more of what we are doing. But our cost of goat is 250. On the construction, I want to break it down. Like $150 will buy a truck of building materials. 150. Right now, we need, just for the foundation, for the first block, which is like the hall, we need about 50,000 US dollars. So I'm going blocks by blocks. We have about 8,000 so far, but every dollar counts. Whether it's $25 will build 100 foot of the trade school. So every penny counts. Every penny counts towards something. Yeah.
And I like that you're putting the building blocks, and yes. You're saying that every little bit does make a difference.
It does. It does. It does.
So if anybody wanted to donate rabbits or goats or anything like that, could they do that?
Yes. So, and we get the fun part about it. If you donate, the rabbits that we are buying, I see it's the California Flemish. It goes up to 8 pounds. They are $50. Let me put it. I always have to think about the Kenyan shillings and the US dollars. So it's about $50 for the California Flemish giant. And then for the goats, it's 250. We're strictly doing the Toggenburg and I have to remember the other one. The name, it's getting off my mind, but it's two kind that has more milk, produces more milk. and it's much easier product, like taking care of them is much easier. So those are the two that we are targeting. We do not need more chicken because they are breeding so fast, and they get the eggs, and the eggs we are putting them back. So eventually what we'll need is additional land to be able to expand. But for now, we are working from a quarter, like a half. It's a half an acre that I donated, and that's where we are doing the school, the livestock, the library. Everything is in that like quarter of half an acre of land.
So, Regina, you donated all of this money out of your own personal pocket to have this started, or?
I'll say a good portion, like the land I donated the greenhouse. So it's a lot of my like out of pocket money to see this vision come true. That's how much I believe in this vision, because I know coming from Kenya, um, I so coming from
Yes.
Kenya, I came with my son strapped on my back, and I had $100. And looking back 20 years today, my son is graduated. He was able to go get a full scholarship at Mount St. Mary's. And then my daughter works in New York. She's already graduated and has a job. And so I look back and I say, what can I do to make a difference to somebody else who is in Kenya? And so pretty much for those 2.5 years, it's been me feeding into Upendo so that we can make a difference for those orphans.
And I think people need to hear this, right? We need to hear the passion and the purpose behind it. You know, you come from Kenya, so you know what it is to live there. And like you said, you're grateful for being in the U.S. and that, and being
Yes.
able to give
Oh,
these
yes.
scholar, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to do. We need to bring that message out to the world, is that we can make a difference even once we leave our countries or we leave
Yes.
our homes. You know, we can
Yes.
say, okay, I got established here, I got ahead. How can I help the people back home? How can I help my family back home? You know,
Yes.
or a friend. And it's like you said, the little things matter. The little
Yes.
donations lead to the big results, right?
Yes.
So I want, for all the listeners and viewers out there, if you'd like to know more, even a little donation, like 6 quarters, go into your change jar, you know, and a cup of coffee is more than $1.50 nowadays. So, you know, let's just start giving a little bit. Give a little, and it'll make a big difference. And you'll have an update from me, Miss Liz, on how the foundation's going and how much we're changing and making a difference. So I want to get into some of your stuff now, Regina. When I asked the guests to be on Tea Time, I asked you guys what your favorite color is, and you gave me gave me the color red. So what does red mean to you?
Uh, it's interesting. It I don't know. It doesn't mean much to me, but the black, red, and white. The red, I just believe it's power. It's like empowering, and then white is peace. And black has no meaning. It was easier for us to print materials. When we do printing of materials, it's easier to do with two colors. So white is already the paper. So the alternate was black. But I love the
So,
black, red, and white now. Yes, yes.
and how did the logo come about?
Oh, that's another story. Upendo, like I didn't realize we have material for 1 hour, but once I had the vision, um, if you allow me, I have to show the logo. Is that okay?
Oh yes, for sure. This is your time. This is your tea time. So for anybody that would like to
And
know
that's what
more
I should
on
unpack.
the,
So that's
there
the
we go.
logo.
That's the beautiful.
Logo.
I love that.
And so what happened with the logo? As you can see, U is shaped as a basket, and we have little children growing into stronger children, because people are pouring love into this basket. So, and then what we are doing as a community is building solid foundation for these children. But with that, I want to say it came about 3 months after I had the vision. I had a friend of mine, her name is Susan. And it's interesting because I'm meeting with her tonight. But Susan called me 3 months after. That was around August, and she said, "Regina, I had a dream. I dreamt 2 times with you." And she said, "You're holding a basket, and you're wearing an African dress." And she said people were lined up and were pouring into your basket, and some were asking you to pick what you want from the basket, and some were pouring everything they had into their basket. So that to me was very important, because at that time, 3 months down, I was still doubting, is it vision true? Is it true I had this vision? But once she shared that, it was like a confirmation. Again, God has people, if you want to call it God, universe, however you want to call it, has people lined up to support this project. So my prayer and my desire always is, like, through the connection, that there are people who are aligned to support this cause. There are people lined up to pour their love into this basket. That's how the
See,
logo
I never
came
even
about.
noticed that. Like when you sent me the logo, I never even noticed that you
Yes, it's shaped
as the
as a
back,
U, it,
like
as
as
a
the basket.
basket. Yeah,
I love that, and the hearts represent the love.
people are pouring love. That's how we are trying. That's what I was saying. Love. The bring that like, it's the biggest commandment. We are spreading. If we can just spread a little love, just a little, like that, a quarter and a half, or just a little love, it will make a huge difference. And it's my desire, as we continue to serve the 145, that the impact that we are making, one child at a time, that we'll be able to eradicate orphanages in Kenya, because we pull them and they can pull somebody else. So yes, that's love that we are pouring that will make the difference.
And I love that you say one child at a time, because
One
that's
child
what
at
it
a
is,
time.
right?
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, we have to do it one step at a time, one building
That's
block at a time. And that's what I got from this tea time, is that you're taking one step at a time, and
one step.
you're not
Yes.
just jumping in and going boof. You know, like a
No,
lot of
no.
people will start something and they'll start all at once, where
Yes.
you're building the blocks and the steps to get through
And
it.
like, yeah, and actually today, because I'm huge on mentorship, I had a young individual here in the house, and the good thing, I could show him the total budget for Upendo is 1.5 million. But guess what? We took the library, we upcycled a shipping container, and now it's a library that we are serving there. Then once we finished that project, we went to the greenhouse. So we have one greenhouse. The goal is to have three eventually, so that we can have for use and export. But we have one, and with that one, every week we are feeding these children. The livestock, we do not have the 50 goats that we wanted, but we have 5 right now that we have, with the hope we'll be able to expand, so that we can be able to maximize that line of the goats. And so it's just one step at a time, one day at a time.
Well, it's almost like weaving in a basket, right? You need to weave it one weave at a time, like, you know, like to build that. And I really like that you explained the logo, because now I understand what the big. For me, I seen a tree and I seen the roots and the connections in that. So I want to thank you for sharing that, and sharing that with the audience as well, about how the logo came together, and
Yes,
the basket. I love the basket. You
yes,
know, it's like
yes.
putting a food basket. Like, how much food can you put in a basket? You know.
It-
So if anybody wanted to reach out to you, Regina, besides the website, where could they reach you?
yeah, I'm open. My phone number is 302-510-2049. Again, 302-510-2049.
And any final words that you'd like to share before we wrap up your tea time?
Uh, just yes, what I would like to share is, instead of giving these children a fish, we are showing them how to fish. And we all have something in our hand that we can make a difference in these children's life. So we are showing them how to fish, not just giving them a fish. And each one of us have something in their hand that they can be able to share.
I like that. And I like that you're teaching. And I think that's where the empowerment comes in. and the education is we're
Correct.
not just giving you all of this stuff. We're making you actually understand and learn how to do it so you can continue on. Correct?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So I want to thank you again for joining me on Tea Time, and I want to thank all the viewers and listeners out there. We have a couple minutes left, so we're gonna just hit into a couple final little things. And I want to thank Jacqueline Sukoi again, Network Building Arizona. Check them out. She is an incredible lady. She has connected with me, and she is partnered up with me. So we're gonna have some incredible tea times coming. We also have one more tea time coming tonight at 7 p.m. with Dr. Betty Speaks, who will be speaking about changing your life now and empowerment, human rights, all of that good stuff. So it's going to be a really strong tea again. Now, I want to go back to your tea because you served a strong tea. So your tea is trade schools, empowerment, and agriculture. I want to thank you for sharing that. And I want to thank you for bringing that awareness for agriculture. And that is the first agriculture I've had served to me. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in and make sure to share these tea times. You just never know what difference you can make, what connection you can make. It only takes 2 seconds to click a share button, and ask questions, reach out. And if you'd like more information and you can't reach Regina, you can always reach me, Miss Liz, and I can refer the message to her. We are connected now, so she's not going anywhere. She's going to be around. She's going to be stuck with Miss Liz for a while. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. But Regina, before we leave, I want you to share your tea again and a little deeper into why those three words.
Yes, the T is for the trade school. And that's our goal for the next 3 years, starting with 2023, the foundation. Actually, if somebody is interested, we'll be taking a trip in the next few weeks to go groundbreaking for the trade school. In this trade school, the goal is to impart career and life skills. It will be an innovation hub where kids can come and be innovative. Let them come, let them be who they were created to be. And the second, the A is for empowerment. And again, just like we all have something that we can be able to share through education, through training, through mentorship. So let's take advantage of those skills, talents, passions that we have to make a difference. And then the agriculture, we don't have to have a big farm. So we can have a little farm that we're making a big difference to eradicate poverty by doing organic farming and using an ecosystem that's good, not just for the children that we are serving, but for the environment. So with that, be more than happy as well to, share more about the rabbits, the goats, the chicken. And then for the plants, we have right now different kind of vegetables. We have strawberries and we have herbs. We're hoping once we get additional land, we'll be able to have a farm that's full of trees, but the trees that have fruits. To continue saving or caring for our environment. Lastly, for individuals who are here in US, do not put your books, your shoes, and stuff that you may think that are not important in the trash, because some of those items means a whole lot to the children in Kenya. So again, my phone number and my email is available. If you have items, and especially in the East Coast, we'll be able to get those items to ship them in Kenya.
Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you're doing. And thank you for supporting 145 orphans. Let's get her to 500 by 2025. We all can make a difference when we all just step up. And $40 a month, you can spend that $40 and make a difference on someone's life. Before we wrap up, Regina, I do want to ask you this question. What age group are you working with?
So right now we have 0. So meaning the children who are born and somebody abandons them, puts them in a latrine, from 0 to 24. The oldest we have is Modoni, who is 24, and she's in 10th grade.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. And thank you to all the listeners and viewers out there. And we will see you guys all back at 7 p.m. for the last tea time for this Thursday. And then starting again next week, we bring back 3 more guests. This is how we're working this year for 2023 with Miss Liz. And if you'd like to know more about Miss Liz, check out my website at www.misslizsteaparties.com. That's right, tea parties, not tea time. And there's a reason behind that, because that's what Miss Liz was doing before she went virtual. So if you'd like to know more about that, check that out. And also check out Regina and all of her incredible work. You can find her on the website, and you can make a difference with 6 quarters. Let's send 6 quarters. Let's all start getting into our little piggy banks and picking out 6 quarters and making a difference and sending it to Regina. And all the information is on the website, so you can send it directly to her. And let's just keep it moving. Let's just keep this tea time flowing. And I want to thank you again for sharing a good, strong TEA today with me in Tea Time with Miss Liz. So I will see everybody at 7 p.m. for the final show with Dr. Betty Speaks, and we will be talking about some incredible things as well. So grab your teas for 7 p.m. Miss Liz is going to go and grab something to eat, and then I'll be right back at 7. So again, thank you, Regina, and have an incredible day.